In Star Wars Battlefront 2, I would say that Heroes vs Villains is the second favourite mode in game. From the few times I've asked in streams, people have told me that they mainly play Galactic Assault, but they also play Heroes vs Villains a lot. So in this video, we'll be using the abbreviated name HVV. Now we had this mode in the last game, but troopers were involved as well, and it was a bit of a mess sometimes. So in Star Wars Battlefront 2, DICE evened it out, 4 heroes versus 4 villains with new core mechanics. In today's gaming world, esports is a big deal, and if there's one mode in Battlefront 2 that could become an esport, this would be it. When it works, this mode is fantastic. Definitely one that I play a lot. I love teaming up with friends here, and I love being able to battle out against some of the biggest and best heroes and villains. There's also the fact that this is without a doubt the best mode for leveling up heroes with the new progression system. I really do enjoy it most of the time. It's just currently there are a few issues that I believe need fixing or just tweaking to make this mode more enjoyable. So the first thing I want to talk about is rolling or dodging, a simple mechanic which has a big impact on the battles that take place in this game mode, mostly between blaster heroes and those using a lightsaber. What's weird is that when I first played Battlefront 2, it seemed fine. You could roll away, and if a lightsaber touched you even slightly, you would still take damage. Hitboxes felt perfect. But then something seemed to happen where rolling became too powerful. For some reason, invincibility frames became a thing, where during a roll, even if you were hit, you wouldn't take any damage. Around this time is when we saw all those Rolly Boy memes on the Battlefront Reddit. The problem with the invincibility frames led the devs to change the roll or dodge, and now here we are with the current system. Now I can't say this happens all of the time, as I've noticed it works perfectly sometimes, but other times you just can't roll away, snapping back to your previous position every time you take a hit mid-roll. This could possibly have something to do with different player latency or server lag though, as when it does happen I tend to notice it happens all game. If that is the case, then DICE either needs to balance players based on their latency or do something about their servers. It just sometimes feels like you always get hit, especially with the less nimble heroes like Finn and Phasma. And that's not the only issue which fits in with the point here. A lightsaber strike will also bug out certain abilities. Take Han Solo's Death Knight charge for example, where instead of detonating the one he has thrown, he will continually throw more charges as he is continually being hit. It is quite funny to watch, but definitely a broken mechanic. So what do I personally want to see? I think lightsaber strikes, if they hit, should always do damage, no invincibility frames. Momentum should also work correctly though. If you roll or dodge, you move in that direction. Now if you are hit during that time, you shouldn't just warp back to your previous standing position or get pulled in. Slow you? Yes. Disable a jetpack temporarily? That's fine. But it shouldn't completely cancel out a movement, and it shouldn't bug out your abilities if it doesn't make sense for it to do so. Han Solo, for example, should still be able to detonate a charge. This momentum kill dodge bug also goes for lightsaber users, as it has a similar effect, although it's not quite as noticeable unless you look at older, much smoother gameplay footage. The one that struggles the most at this time has to be Yoda, as his dodge doesn't avoid lightsaber strikes at all, and of course he can't block them. I'm pretty sure he used to be able to dodge hits, but the way it works now he just can't. The best thing you can do is just jump away. So I think that's one thing for me that needs a partial fix and some tweaking to improve the gameplay. Dodging, rolling, momentum and lightsaber strikes. Next is balance, and I won't go into who is overpowered and who is weak, because everyone has a different playstyle and can outperform others with different heroes. The one thing I will say for an almost certainty is that the villains win more. As we know, the devs collect data constantly and they will know who or why this is. To balance it, they either need to buff, nerf or add. Buff the weaker heroes, nerf the ones overperforming, or if they don't want to do any of that, they can just add a hero that might balance out, say, one of the villains. So say just add a hero like it's something easy to do, but it obviously takes a lot of time, as we've noticed. We're obviously expecting Obi-Wan Kenobi, so we don't know how strong he will be or what abilities he will have. Along with him, we'll also be expecting Grievous, so balancing heroes is a continual thing, especially when they need to balance them between two modes. That's an issue in itself. Galactic Assault and HVV, balancing between the two modes causes some issues. But still, for the current issues that we're seeing at the moment, I'd expect to see some tweaks in the next big patch. The next few quickfire points to end on are pretty standard, just to give players more incentives and more enjoyment in this game mode. So I'm just going to read them off here. Extra points for surviving when you are the target. More points for buffing your team. A possible return of the lightsaber clash battles we had in Battlefront 1. A savior bonus if you save a target that is on low health. And the one that I personally want the most, a good amount of extra credits if you win the game. That pretty much goes for every mode, but yes, we need this in HVV for a certainty. Further to that, we of course need more maps and more heroes, but that's something we just have to wait a bit longer for. Hopefully, Obi-Wan and Grievous will show up sometime in the near future. So that's it from me, but what do you guys think of my thoughts in this video? Agree or disagree, let me know in the comments, and if there is something that you want changed or added, put that down there as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I'll be back soon with another, but for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.